Hello guys, welcome back to the Transfer Daily YouTube channel where we are bringing you the latest updates from the football transfer market, and starting off then with goalkeeper Mile Svilar, Roma goalkeeper, very good goalkeeper after he's had a brilliant season for Roma. And it was a few weeks ago where talks have stalled and were tough negotiations for a contract renewal, but now Svilar is set to sign a new contract with Roma until June 2030. So the extension is now complete after the verbal agreement has been reached, after they've been in talks for weeks, as Roma fans will know, and top clubs were monitoring the situation, as the two goalkeepers at the moment in Serie A who have a lot of interest was Svilar and also Milinkovic-Savic. But he's a crucial part of the Roma project, and he is now going to be official announcement soon for his contract renewal until June 2030. Stam then are in the market for a new right-back after Vladimir Kufal will leave the club, very likely to happen. So they are in the market for a new right-back, and there's a name I want to talk about is Diouf from Sparta Praha. And what can we say on this one? And that is that Diouf is obviously a name who's gained a lot of interest from top clubs in Europe, and we know that West Ham had a bid rejected in the region of 20 million, a bid rejected from that. So West Ham feel that a deal is too expensive, despite Diouf being one of the top options for a new right-back. But another player is Arnau Martinez from Girona, and talks have started to happen. Obviously, there's no agreements in place yet, but talks have started, and we know he has a 14 million euros release clause in his contract, so a lot cheaper than Diouf. So let's wait and see if West Ham progress on this one. But as I've said, Diouf not expected to join after West Ham stopped pursuing after that bid was rejected. Many links out with Nico Gonzalez from Manchester City. We know they signed in January for 60 million, and there's been many links that potentially he leaves the club, etc., these type of things. But from what we can say is he is a part of the plans for Manchester City for this season, and an exit isn't expected to happen. So he's not expected to move despite reports. And any move you would propose probably comes from will come from the player side, should I say, for Gonzalez to leave, because Manchester City have him in the plans. And the only thing that really you can think about is game time next season. So it could be one to watch maybe late on in the window, but currently Manchester City don't want Gonzalez to leave. So AC Milan, I've spoken about it in a previous video before, Dusan Vlahovic and Darwin Núñez, but AC Milan are still in the market for a striker this summer. For Gimenez, we know they signed, but they're still looking for one this summer. And a new name that we can add is Victor Boniface. So Boniface could become a real option for Al Nassr now. Let's wait and see what they do after John Duran has left the club. So he could become a real option for them, but also AC Milan do really appreciate the player, and he's a name on the list, another name on the list for Milan alongside Vlahovic, and also, as I think Matteo Moretto reported, there's Nicholas Jackson, there's another one as well. But let's wait and see with the Boniface situation, because Erik ten Hag preferably would like Boniface to stay, but as we know, Boniface was very willing to leave the club in January. So let's wait and see what happens with this one. But Victor Boniface and his exit is still one to watch this summer. Victor Osimhen then as a striker, and Galatasaray are pushing to try and complete a deal for Osimhen. And the first initial bid yesterday was sent from Galatasaray of 60 million euros package, which was 55 million euros plus 5 million euros in add-ons, which was rejected by Napoli, because you know Napoli want to sign Darwin Núñez, so these funds could be crucial to unlock that deal for Núñez as well. But what can we say is that there is an agreement in place between Osimhen and Galatasaray for a contract until 2028, because Osimhen is keen on the return back to Galatasaray. So Galatasaray talks will continue between them and Napoli. Napoli, the plan has always been the same for them, is €75 million release clause. They want around that price or to trigger the release clause for Osimhen. So let's wait and see as talks continue, but the agreement is there. But we also know Al Hilal still have an agreement with Napoli over the fee, so Al Hilal could try again and increase the salary, etc., to try and sign Victor Osimhen this summer. So let's wait and see what happens with this one. But Osimhen wants a move to Galatasaray. Anthony Elanga then set to join Newcastle on permanent transfer from Nottingham Forest. And there is an agreement in place for a £55 million deal with medical tests set to take place in the next days, with the agreement being in place for a long-term deal for Anthony Elanga. And we know Newcastle have been looking for a right winger now for the last year or so, and the top target has always been Elanga for the right winger. They tried to sign him last summer. No, didn't happen. They sent a bid through in January. No, didn't happen. They sent a bid through this summer. One got rejected, but now the agreement is in place with Nottingham Forest. So there's a new right winger coming to Newcastle United, with the announcement set to be in the next week or so. So what are the next steps for Nottingham Forest? They tried to sign Malik Fofana, but there's still no agreement with the player, as a player wants Champions League football, so that one's unlikely to happen. And a player who Nottingham Forest do have had interest from last summer is Johan Bakayoko. And Bakayoko is a player who Forest do definitely have on the list and is high up, as now Nottingham Forest will pursue for a new right winger, you'd think. Bakayoko, though, is a similar situation. We know he's rejecting moves in the past to Brentford, etc., because he wants to play at the highest level and be competing for the highest trophy. So let's wait and see if Nottingham Forest, if they do make a move, because there's been no approach to PSV yet, or on player side, if Bakayoko is open to the move. But let's wait and see what the next steps for Forest will be to sign a new right winger to replace Elanga. So thank you for watching the video. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.